welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is our latest offering, What's Hot, a show that details for you what's the biggest buzz on the D Street. Today, we're going to be discussing all about the primary market, the new listings and the new debuts that we are going to be seeing in the stock markets, and a whole lot for you to really look at. First up, we are going to be looking at Misho getting listed on the bourses. We already have the prices reflecting from the pre-open trade, and you can see the visuals right there on your screens. There's also AQS listing as well, and you can actually see all of those visuals on your screens. Just in a minute from now, you will get to see the final pricing. Remember, Misho is listed approximately at 162 rupees on the NSE vis-a-vis the issue price of 111, whereas AQS has listed at 140 rupees on the NSE vis-a-vis the issue price of 124 is what we are given to understand right now. Of course, the visuals will be showcasing to you the exact prices as well at the NSE. Apart from this, we are also looking at Vidya Wires getting listed on the bourses. So 3 new listings is what we have, 3 new debut stocks for all of us to watch out for today. Of course, apart from this, we have new IPOs that are opening up as well. That's something that we are going to be, of course, focusing on as well, and of course helping you understand from the top market experts' point of view whether these are the new opportunities that you should be watching out for and keeping on your radar as well. So there is a Nephrocare Health Services IPO that opens today, and there's also Park MediWorld IPO that opens today as well. We will be focusing on that too. Apart from this, we are also looking at LG Electronics, one of the recently listed stocks from the consumer electronics space and a leader of the pack as well. For the first time after getting listed, it has got a reduced rating. Now remember, 12 brokerage houses that cover LG Electronics. Of that, we have seen that Kotak has come out with an initiating of the coverage of LG Electronics with a reduced rating there. We will be focusing on that too. And of course, from the commodities basket, silver prices at all-time high levels is going to be our focus as well. Where are silver prices headed? With gold also follow suit and hit record levels pretty soon after silver has done the same is something that we will be watching out for. Let's quickly welcome our guest on board. Mr. Prashant Mehta is joining in on the show with us from Mehta Equities to share with us his views on the markets, and of course we will be sharing all of these news coverage points with him as well. Warm welcome to you, Prashant. Good to have you with us. A quick take on the markets first, and then we will dive deeper into all of these what's hot topics.
Very good morning to you and the viewers. I think from last Friday, markets have been very volatile. Friday was a 200-300 point Nifty upside due to the whatever RBI has commented on the interest rate cut. But again, suddenly what went wrong we don't know on the weekends. Monday again we had a very bad day of 200 points down. So again, I think it's a lucky day for the few listings today to have a markets on a greener zone, as well as markets are focusing more on the Fed interest rate expectations tonight, and even India-US trade deal, which is about to make a lot of headlines in this weekend. So overall, the trend is volatile, but on the positive side, I think the way our markets are moving from a resistance zone of 25,850 or 800 below. Yesterday was a day where market slipped below 800, 25,800. Again, recovered strongly. I think some margin call on the retail side has been not triggered in the market, which has created a lot of mess in the last 2 days. But overall, the undertone is positive, but the way how markets will make a lot of headlines for next 2 days, I am standing sideways to look at things, but a lot of mid-cap, small-cap stocks are giving technical bounces and triggers for having a fresh trade. So overall, the trend looks very positive, but I am standing sideways.
Okay, got that. Let's focus on the new listings now. We finally have the prices settle on the D Street as far as these new IPOs are concerned. We have had Misho getting listed on the bourses as well. Remember, Misho is seeing a premium listing on the D Street, viewers. This is a 162.5 rupee listing on the NSE vis-a-vis a price of 111 on the issue price that we actually saw. Let's actually look at Misho for now and try and understand from Prashant as to what should be really looking at here. How would you look at Misho? Of course, we do know in the fast fashion world, it has definitely made its mark there. Despite heavyweight companies like an Amazon or a Flipkart with heavy-pocketed, deep-pocketed players and investors backing these two companies back home, and they have those global giants behind them, Misho has still managed to have their own niche in the category. You can see on your screens 161 rupees on the Misho level. In fact, now it's moved up to 169.55 odd levels. 52% of a listing gain is what you have on the day one itself. Prashant, how would you look at it?
I think it is as per our expectations again. See, Misho has been called as an Indian Amazon, so it has created a right place for Indian consumer with low cost pricing model. So where India is a very price sensitive customer base with almost 146 crores people. So whenever there is a good tech driven company which is giving you a comfort level to have your products at a very cheaper rate and delivered to your home. So this is a very unique business which is creating an Indian markets very high. So valuations were very much comfortable leaving something on the table, and we are seeing how the table has rewarded the company due to the investors today. So I think with 50% plus listing in, I think a conservative investor should try to book profits at least 50 to 60%, and the risk taking investors can continue to hold for further upside. But we have seen a lot of IPOs post listing, they have pulled off their all-time high. So considering those things, my preferred advice would be on selling on the listing day.
Absolutely. Right now, if you look at, there is a further uptick on Misho, 54.5% higher at 171 odd levels. So the going has been strong as we speak. Let's also focus on the other companies that are getting listed as well. We have Vidya Wires and AQS that have also got listed. We are getting to see that Vidya Wires listed flat but moved up about 7-8%, and AQS Limited is in front of you now, viewers. A 12% uptick is what you see on your screens. It has listed on a premium vis-a-vis the issue price, 140 rupees as against the issue price of 124. Right now, if you see, it's holding around the same level. About a 12% uptick is what you do see. Grey market trends were already indicating to a double-digit listing gain, and we are seeing a positive momentum there. The upbeat expectations actually came in after this 922 odd crore rupees IPO received strong investor interest during the 3-day bidding. In fact, the offer was subscribed a whopping 104 times. And after that, we have actually seen this move on AQS. Vidya Wires is also on your screen. It listed flat at 52, moved up stronger, now up about 11 odd percent at 57.7 odd levels as against the issue price of 52. So let's focus on both these as well. First up, AQS Limited. This is the shares of airplane parts maker company AQS Limited that have debuted on the D Street as well. Of course, a strong subscription data was already looking at, the kind of demand that it has already garnered from investors. A positive listing there. How would you look at it?
Very decent company, I think. Wonderful products. I was lucky to visit their factory in Belgaum. So very surprised to see an Indian company making lot of aeroplane products. I think the main almost 5,000 products have been made by AQS for the airline businesses. So I think wonderful company, fundamental very strong. I think it's a good way to have a long-term outlook on AQS. The listing was slightly below my expectations. I was expecting a 25% plus listing gain, but again a 12% listing gain is giving me an opportunity to advise my clients to add more at these levels. So I think it's a long-term play. Considering the business model, I think 90% of the business comes from the aerospace precision equipments, and rest from the consumer-driven stocks. So overall, very good stock. I think one should hold for a long-term holding.
One should hold for long term as far as AQS Limited is concerned, from the aviation related story and creating a lot of aviation parts, 13.8% higher, moving up slowly and gradually and picking up more pace as we move forward. Now let's also focus on Vidya Wires, now up 9.3 odd percent at 56.8. About flat listing is what we saw on Vidya Wires. It moved up slightly, now up about 10 odd percent. How would you look at Vidya Wires?
Among three same day listing and same day opening, I think we avoided Vidya Wires to have a very decent company and decent numbers. Valuations were slightly expensive from our concern. I think so. We prefer to have Misho as well as AQS and a portfolio for advising our clients. So Vidya, we are not having any official report on that.
Okay, got that. So you clearly covered AQS and Misho. Misho, you definitely are more bullish on between Misho and AQS. AQS also, you believe for the long-term story, it can continue to be held on to for those investors who actually got the stock for the long term. Let's actually now focus on the new IPOs that are opening up today as well. We had two of them opening on Monday, and we still have them open for sure. We have Wakefit and we also have Corona Remedies that's open in trade. ICICI Prudential AMC will be coming in. But we have Nephrocare and Park MediWorld IPO that have opened up today. So let's focus on both these IPOs as well. First up, Nephrocare Health IPO. The opening date is today, 10th December. Closing date is 12th December, viewers. The price band is 438 rupees to 460 rupees per share. The market cap pre-IPO is 4,615 odd crore rupees, and of course we will be given to understand as to how it opens when it gets listed. The total issue size is 871 crores. One lot size will give you 32 shares in case you bid for one lot of the company. How the services financials have actually come in? Well, we have seen from FY24 to FY25, the revenue has gone up by 34%. Profit after tax has surged by 91% during the same period. So strong fundamentals is what we see. The company was incorporated back in the year 2010. End-to-end dialysis care provider is something that the company is known for. The primary services include dialysis, hemodialysis, home and mobile dialysis as well. They also have wellness programs and in-house pharmacy too. 51 clinics even internationally. They are present in Philippines, Uzbekistan and in Nepal. Specifically in Uzbekistan, they operate the world's largest dialysis center. They're also present in 288 cities in 21 states in India. So they have a wide presence back home, and from the healthcare services space, it's a critical niche space that they are operating in. How would you look at Nephrocare?
I think among the two, I think Nephrocare Healthcare looks very good for me because of the healthcare services, which is the need of the hour for Indian population. I think that would be a very good business model. They have almost three different models. Like one would be a private-public partnership, one would be a standalone, and second would be a mobile clinic services. So it was very great to see the business model, unique model in the current markets right now. So I think with respect to fundamentals, with respect to the industry which they are going to service, this company can do better. On the valuation side, I think they are coming up with very decent numbers right now. But I think yes, markets has to give some kind of good premium to that stock. I think currently we are positive on the Nephrocare when we compare with the Park MediWorld. I think it's a North Indian focused hospital chain. With high competition, I think there will be some kind of pressure in the segment where they are operating. But again, among two, Nepro would be a better option for an investors to apply.
Okay, got that. Let me also talk about the other IPO then, and this one is Park MediWorld IPO. Again, the opening date is today, 10th December. This will also shut shop on 12th December. So 3 days of subscription is what you have as an opportunity. Price band is 154 rupees to 162 rupees per share. The market cap pre-IPO is 6,997 crores. Again, in one lot, you will get 92 shares, and the total issue size is 920 odd crore rupees. How the financials have shaped up? The revenue is up by 13% from FY24 to FY25. We've also seen the profit after tax grow up by about 40% over the same period. When we look at the periods that have been compared are from ending between March 31st of 2024 to March 31st of 2025. Remember, the company was founded in 2011. The business is of multi-super speciality private hospital chain. They have 14 hospitals under the Park brand, and the bed capacity is of 3,000 beds as of March of 2025. They also have NABH accreditation across their hospitals. 8 hospitals have NABL accreditation as well. They have presence across Haryana, Delhi, Punjab and Rajasthan. 30 super speciality hospital and services that they have include neurology, oncology, even oxygen plant is available at every hospital location at their locations as well. So let's talk about from the healthcare space again, the hospital business right there, Park Medi. How would you look at Park Medi in comparison to all the other listed peers as of now in terms of valuation, the growth opportunities that they have and the management pedigree?
I think very positive on the management pedigree. I had a word with them yesterday. I think very strong in their focus. I think the way they are expanding their bed capacity from the current levels to another 3,000 beds. So I think it's a good opportunity to see some kind of a bigger expansion from a hospital chain. But they are highly focused on the North Indian side. I think there is a huge competition being led. I don't know why majority of the hospitals are focusing more on the North Indian side and less on the South Indian side. But again, on valuation side, very comfortable. I think there is something left on the table on a listing gain prospect. So I think 15-20% can be an expected listing gain on the Park MediWorld IPO. But overall, again, a long-term play. I think the way the sector is moving, so India needs a lot of hospitals to be built up and a lot of beds should be added up. So I think in that regards, I think this company will do well.
Okay, got that. So I hope this has also truly helped you, our viewers, in understanding where the opportunities lie in the two IPOs that are opening up as well. Any idea on ICICI Prudential AMC? Is that something that you're watching out for in the IPO that's going to be coming in this week?
I think yes, we are still working on that. We are reading more on the DRSP, so we don't have a immediate view on that. But again, obviously, AMC as a sector, obviously, it has done well when we compare HDFC AMC or any other AMCs which are listed. They have done really good in terms of rewarding their returns to the shareholders. Obviously, being the top five large market share AMC business, ICICI can be a good candidate to have a long-term portfolio stock.
Okay, got that. I hope this has also truly helped you out. Let's focus on LG Electronics now, Prashant. This is this first time that we have seen Kotak brokerage firm initiate coverage with a reduced rating. Now, of course, what we are also given to understand is that they still have a target of 1600 rupees, which is slightly higher than where the stock is currently trading at 1591. They do believe that it's a strong brand. They have deep distribution. The drive that they have in terms of leadership in a competitive market continues to be a tailwind for them. They also have affordable appliances. They're getting into newer categories. Their export is ramping up, expected to fuel growth even further going forward from here. They have a premium mix right ahead of the industry as well, is what they are given to understand. The 25% market share in certain categories is also seen as a positive. They also see that at the current market price, however, the company is fairly valued. They also have forecast about 10% revenue EPS CAGR growth over the next 2 years from FY25 to FY28 odd or so. Now, I want to understand from you, how are you looking at LG Electronics? Of course, it came in as one of the biggest IPOs, and of course, after about 3 decades of operations back home in India, having earned the customers' trust back home in India with providing quality services, quality products, and every urban household has at least one product from LG. So they have this close understanding or visibility with the urban Indian back home. So despite that, I want to understand on the growth opportunity front, how are you looking at it? From the 12 buy calls that we have, this is the first one that has come in with a reduced rating. How should an average investor really understand what's going on here?
I think you pointed a lot of investment rationale from your comments. I think having one product in every home in India is a great market share for any company like LG Electronics. But very positive on the product. I think the quality and the trust they have built up from last many years have already built up in the investors community also. I think post listing it has rewarded the investors very well. See, the near term outlook would remain some kind of pressure in the margins, the way we have seen in the last quarter earnings. So that would be the only one concern what I would like to also see in the company's business model. But again, considering the new models, I think yesterday also they have launched 2-3 new models of washing machine and other ACs and other fridge segments. So I think that will also create a lot of buzz in the coming New Year sale. So December as well as January, we will see a lot of sales in terms of equipments like electronics and all. So for me, downside would be very limited from the current levels. Maybe because of the profit booking attempt in the market, that may see some kind of selling pressure in the LG Electronics. But again, being a conservative investors for a long term, I think that stock can really deliver at least 15-20% return for next 12 months to 18 months. So overall, very positive on the stock, on the product, as well as in the sector.
Okay, fair point. That's the LG Electronics company for you as well. Okay, let's also focus on the other big topic that we are going to be discussing today, and that's as with respect to the silver prices that have shot up to record high levels as well. And Prashant, we definitely want you to focus on that and help all our viewers really understand what's really going on here. The blip that we saw over the last couple of months was just a minor blip, and silver prices are back at record high levels. Silver prices have now hit 1,90,374 rupees per kilogram. It's definitely shining the brightest in its history. Silver futures have hit record levels. Gold is still trading above 1.3 lakh rupees per 10 grams. But globally also we've seen silver prices extending the gains for the first time, crossing the $60 per ounce mark as well, reaching $61.5 per ounce. This is also largely driven by the speculative bets going on in global markets, where there is an expectation that US Federal Reserve will announce a 25 basis point cut in its December 9-10 meeting, and we will hear about it today. And we want to understand from you, how should an average investor really be looking at it? At every spike, back home investors thought that this price may not sustain at the higher levels. It is just too high for me to enter, maybe at 90,000, 1 lakh, 1 lakh 2,000, 1 lakh 20,000, 1 lakh 50,000, and now you have 1 lakh 90,000 closing in on the 2 lakh mark, something that most of the commodity analysts were only believing that a mark can be seen next year. But this has happened even before 2025 has ended. How would you look at it?
Very positive again, the way how Fed chairman is going to cut some interest rates today night. But again, there are some indications that next full financial year would also get some 2 to 3 cuts in the interest rate cuts. So that is also triggering silver as well as gold to make some new highs. But overall, what I feel is there is a mismatch in the demand and supply as well as on the production side. So I think that is also creating a lot of buzz in terms of the gap between the physical buying in the market as well as on the trading side. So there is a good difference of buying and demand and supply in the market. It is also creating a lot of pressure in the prices on the higher side. But industrial users are going to be again at the same levels. It will not decrease. So there can be a fall of 2 to 5% on any given day. But again, on a stable way manner, I think that will again touch to 2 lakh rupee very soon in coming few days or few weeks. So overall, very bullish on that. If you want to play this, I think Hindustan Zinc would be a preferred bet one should focus on.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also truly helped you understand how should you look at silver. But vis-a-vis gold, how would you look at gold? Do you think gold will also now follow suit and maybe hit fresh record high levels soon enough?
I think yes, 1 or 2 months, I think we will also see 1.5 as a target from our in-house research. So I think that would be a target for us. Overall, both are playing its own game. Mainly the demand and supply is the major thing which is keeping the prices on the higher side.
Okay, fair point. So viewers, that's something that you have to keep an eye out on. Seems like Prashant is bullish on both gold and silver, and the prices can inch even further from here. So keep an eye out on that too. We also have another buzzing report that we need to share with all our viewers, and that's with respect to Indigo. Prashant, how would you first of all assess, before we read out that report for all our viewers, how is Indigo placed at this point in time? We saw about a 17-18% kind of a drop on Indigo over the last 7-8 sessions because of the ongoing crisis. And yesterday in the afternoon, we broke the story on India Today, where Peter Elbers came out with that statement saying that all operations are stabilized at Indigo. It's of course remaining to understand whether there will be any cancellations today, whether they are being reported already, or are things back on track, both in terms of on-time fly, on the kind of delays that they were facing, and the cancellations front as well. Now, there is further brokerage houses reports that are now coming out with some cautious statements on Indigo. MK Global today has actually come out with a report. Now, they have cut the target on Indigo as well. Right now, the stock is trading at 4,910 odd levels. Today, it's down by about 1%, despite some recovery yesterday that we saw. The target price, they have lowered by 7% to, 6,300 from their initial target price, which is still much higher than where we are at the current levels. So, I want to understand from you, for those investors who had been believing in Indigo as a long-term story for their core portfolios, how should they be looking at the current crisis? And for those who have been only keeping Indigo on their watch list, would this be an opportunity to in fact buy, looking at that probably structurally things may not be all that bad?
Obviously, right, structurally things are not so good right now. I think for next 1 or 2 quarters, they may feel a lot of pressure in terms of cutting down their fleet sizes. I think yesterday the minister also said that they need to cut 10% of their winter plans. So I think that would be one right way to for Indigo to go and make sure the operations are very much intact as per the historical levels. But again, the pressure with respect to rising costs due to the hiring of pilots and all, I think that will be a wait and watch for me to understand a better picture on the Indigo as a levels. So for me, next 2 quarters, the hurdles will continue, and that will keep pressure in the performance as per their revenues, top line, bottom line. I think for me, a target of 4,500 to 4,800 can be a best level to wait and watch for any investors who like to have a Indian aviation long-term story in Indigo. But again, Government of India is also trying to invite a lot of new brands to come and operate in the aerospace airplane sector. So I think that will also create a lot of competition. And I think SpiceJet as well as Air India is trying to take some kind of market share because of the trust what they have built in the historical levels.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also truly helped you out, viewers, as to understand what is the fresh perspective on Indigo. And Prashant, towards the end of the show, help us understand what's your, key focus area at this point in time in the markets, which are volatile at this point in time, still trying to find out their stability above 26,000. Every attempt to go beyond and even at record high levels has met with equal amounts of pressure from the selling side as well in the markets. We are inching closer to the year end. Still, we are looking forward to that sign of a Santa Claus rally yet. How would you really look at the markets right now? Which are the key areas for you to focus on? Any sectors or stocks that you are betting big on already?
I think the Christmas is very near and the Santa Claus would be in the phase of Trump right now. So I think he can better give a good gift for Indian market. But again, there are a lot of mid-cap companies which are creating a lot of opportunities for us. For example, the HDFC AMC looks very good for me. Even the another peer competitor is coming for a listing, ICICI Prudential. So HDFC AMC looks very good for me at this point of time with a target of at least 2,700 to 2,800 from the current levels. And second would be again protein e-governance. I think that would be a stock which looks very good for me from a technical perspective. The downside is very limited from the current levels, and I think that is a good fundamental mid-cap stock one should focus more on. And even Lakshmi India, the small NBFC which got listed 3 months back, I mean the stock is doing really good in terms of technical bounce back. So in mid caps, there are a lot of technical bounce opportunities which I've been keeping my eye on for a trading perspective. On a on long term again, Nifty 50 focus, I think SBI looks very good for me at this point of time. Hindalco looks very good for me at this point of time. So I'm focusing more on the mid cap side because the way how it has been corrected from last 1 month, 1.5 months. So those are giving me very comfort levels to add with the risk reward ratio on the better side.
All right. Okay. All right. Then, Prashant, thank you so much for being with us on the show and for helping all our viewers out around a wide range of topics that we discussed, from the new listings to the newer IPOs that are coming in, opportunities in the secondary market, and of course, even in commodities as well. Thank you so much for all that insight that you always have to share with us and our viewers as well. Thank you. All right, viewers, it's 25,940 right now. We're about 100 points high in trade. We have climbed to the day's high point just within about 1.5 hours of the trade today. So the going has been much better than the first 2 days as to how they panned out in this week for the markets. Let's hope that we are again able to cross above the 26,000 mark today. Let's see what exactly are the key sectors and the stocks that support this kind of a move, and whether we will see even the Nifty bank, the Nifty, the key sectoral indices, and some of the key pockets in the markets also show some signs of strength despite the big focus that's still there on the primary market space. With that, it's a wrap. Do stay tuned with us on to Business Today Television. Market coverage continues on the other side. And of course, I'll be seeing you at 12 noon with daily calls answering all your stock related queries. Thank you so much for watching. From how the markets move today to what's setting the stage for tomorrow. From tariffs to taxes